All right, guys. Welcome everyone to the Johnson and the Lundy Team Time. We are today we're visiting right after Dr. A's call, and just going to start here with the kind of the schedule. What happens every Monday? We have Dr. A's call, and then we call it the Coach Monday Power Hour. For some of us, we got to the FIB season above today. We had a call with Dr. A. And that was, we got to actually talk to the president of Optavia. And that was exciting time to be able to just kind of see. He's got an amazing beard. Let me tell you what, he's got like the most manicured beard I've ever seen. Anyways, we ought to bring Alan on for that because Alan's the beard expert. Next is Go Global. Go Global is coming up in a month from yesterday, or actually a month from today it starts. Super excited for that. If you have been an ED for 3 months since October up to the end of this month, you are invited to go. So love to see you there. Can't wait to hug your neck and shake your hand. July, Optavia convention in July 19th in St. Louis. Super excited for that. I say we have a party at the top of the arch. We're going to the top. Who's going to be there for that? Who's going to be there for that? That'll be awesome. Nancy, can't wait to see you. All right, next is the leadership retreat. It's probably going to be globals and above, but last year it was integrated national and above. So if you can hit integrated national by October, you'll be invited to go to Sundance. It only holds like 200 people. That is super cool. So jump off there real quick. I want to, since we had such an amazing month last month in July, and we had quite a few rank ups, quite a few people got back to ranks that they haven't been at for a while. But anybody want to come off and talk about their new rank that they hit, or introduce somebody who just hit a new rank? Come off if you want to. Alan and Margie, do you know any of you people that have ranked up this month?
Well, we had sorry, get the video on. Last month we had Tammy Beach as executive director for the first time. That's kind of a big deal. Super excited about that.
So, Tammy, you and I were talking at the very beginning, but most of these people weren't on here. Why don't you come off again and just tell us a little bit about your story?
Well, I really feel like I got most of my clients simply by watching the boot camp. I think the boot camp has helped me tremendously.
Perfect.
I've been doing the 3+3+3, and that has really helped me.
Awesome.
I actually acquired 13 clients last month doing that.
Nice. Just from doing the action steps.
Right.
Perfect. Awesome. So how long have you been a coach?
Since October.
Okay, so roughly about 6 months.
Right.
Okay. Well, it's 5 months. Awesome. So just getting in motion and doing it. And actually, right. I mean, 13 clients in 1 month that's a good amount of clients in 1 month.
Right.
Awesome job. All right. Anybody else? Heidi?
Hiram, I don't think she's on, but can I tell about Bethany?
Yes.
Because we'll send her the recording. But Bethany's one of my coaches, and I don't know if you guys have noticed if you're on Highway to Health. She's like a huge cheerleader on there. And she was able to hit senior coach in February. And then by March 4th, she had already hit senior coach again. So she's on fire.
And again, I think that goes back to action steps. We Tony and I talked with Bethany at the last couple days of the month. She's not, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know. And we helped her out with seeing what kind of action steps she could do. And she took off. She found several clients in the last day. I mean, Tammy is one of those things. She needed it and she had like a couple of hours to go, if that. So she celebrated it. She came right on the next day. And because of the action steps from the days before, she brought on like 4 or 5 clients in the first couple of days of the month. So she'll have a big lull to the very end if she doesn't just keep busy. But It's those action steps. Anybody else? Anybody else reignite again and feel good about what's that?
So Mel's in here as well, Hiram, and Mel has two people, two coaches on her team that are getting ready to go senior. They each have 5 clients. They've overlapped from last month to this month, but they're both going to hit this month. So that's pretty exciting for Team Mel over there.
Awesome. Mel, you're rocking it. I know you are, because I don't know if you guys all saw last Friday, not this past Friday, but a week ago Friday, I got on there and on Jocks, I said, I've got $50 scholarships to the first, or $25 scholarships to the first 3 people that can come up with a scholarship. And Mel was on top of that fast. I mean, she had 2 people ready to go right when I said that there's a scholarship on there. So it wasn't fair to all of the group, because only a few of the Lundy's leaders are in Jocks. So, but Mel saw that. She jumped on it really fast. She brought on at least 1 client. She had another one in the barrel that I think started the next day. And then some of Heidi's coaches jumped on that. And you know what? I did the same thing. I was going to say, I'll do scholarships until I bring on a client. And that's what I'm going to do next time, is I'm going to do a scholarship until I bring on a client. That means I better get on the ball and get something really fast, or else I'm going to be spending a lot of money. So I love it when people keep me accountable. All right. Anybody else have anything that they want to share? Tony had an amazing healthy happy hour. Anybody coming off to share?
Yeah, I think I had some coaches that went senior and ED this last month. I don't see them all here, but Emily, Deanne, Nancy hit senior. Everybody deserves a little celebrating all the time. Congratulations to everybody who ranked up. Good job. For sure.
Thank you. And again, there's a lot of people on here that didn't hit ranks for quite a few and hit. But Deanne, you're on the move. I think she was shooting for Edie this month, aren't you?
Yeah, she's gonna.
Deanne's gonna rock it. So, all right, guys, let's get in kind of the meat of this real quick, because I got permission from one of our other coaches. Actually, it's one of Heidi's coaches, Emily Shaw, who just hit ED last month. I got permission to share her back office, her Optavia Connect office, because I don't want everybody to see all of your numbers unless you guys really want me to start sharing all your numbers. But Emily just hit ED last month, and she did give me permission to use her back office, so we can kind of go through some of these. So everybody, get a piece of paper out real quick, because I'm going to have to kind of go through these fast, but I also want you to know, I mean, if you have questions or I'm going too fast, slow me down a little bit, because there's quite a bit of information, and in order to get it all out there, I'm going to have to kind of go through it a little bit fast. So we are going to go through Emily's thing here real quick. Let me pull her back up again. Okay, who doesn't like that you get kicked out every 5 minutes on this? All right, when you first come in to your Optavia Connect, this is what it's going to show. Okay, it's going to show what percentage you're at to senior coach. Okay, Emily hit ED last month, but you can tell she's only at 22% right now to senior coach. That means she's very backloaded. All of her clients are coming on in the last half of the month. And so that's one of the things that you want to take a look at this. Okay, we are on the 12th right now, and you really should almost be at the halfway point if you want to run a consistent business without being super backloaded and super busy in the end of the month. So that's one of the things that I'm really trying to work with a lot of coaches on right now is let's split up the month into threes. Okay, on the 10th, you should be a third of the way through your goals. On the 20th, be the 2/3, and then the 30th, hopefully you're not doing that midnight rush. Just like Tammy said, Tammy, you hit it in the last 2 hours of the day. Let's move that so you have a week to be able to play with ED, that you can celebrate for a week, that you get to celebrate with ED. Who's talking? I don't see anybody. Okay, somebody's bumping on. So anyways, what I wanted to go through with real quick is we want to look at the questions that I sent out a questionnaire, just a little fill a form that you just do right on the computer. And on there, it asked, what was your last month's income? Okay, I don't need to know that, but I want you to know that. I want you to realize how much money you're making, because most people don't even realize that they're making as much money as they are, because it comes in weekly increments and then one lump sum at the end. A lot of people don't understand how much money they're making. I'm not going to dive into Emily's back office so you guys can see how much money she's making. Let me tell you, she's making the ED's income though, which is above $2,000 a month. Okay, but you guys need to make sure you know that, and make sure that you have a place for that money to go. If that money is sacred for something, that you had a goal of buying something or whatever, make sure you're using that money for that, so you know. Okay, so first off is looking at this first office here of where you want to go, what are you doing. Okay, next, the main thing that you're going to start seeing is you want to just go to your own profile by just pushing your name up here. Just go view profile. Okay, this is going to tell you all the stuff that's happening kind of in your organization right here, your own orders and your volume. So this is going to take you back. Emily's only been a coach for a few months here. She was a client for 2 months, okay? And then in December, she started coaching. She only had one client in December. No, January, she took off. And then February, she hit ED, okay? So again, this is going to show you what your frontline volume is and what your personal volume is and what your group volume is each month. So this is one of the things that you really want to see, okay? Her growth, she grew by 133% last month, just because she went from $4,000 to $6,000 in 1 month. So she grew 33% in her business, 133%. So you want to know that, okay? So if she can grow 33%, it's not always going to be 33% growth, but you can see that she can do that. So make a goal big enough for yourself that you have to push, okay? Your group volume, your frontline volume, and your personal volume. Know those things all the time. But your frontline volume, right now, Emily doesn't have any coaches. So her group volume and her frontline volume are going to be the same. When you start having coaches, this is when this group volume explodes. All right, guys? My frontline volume runs about $8,000 to $10,000 depending on the month. Okay? My group volume runs about $500,000. That is when having coaches, that's where the majority of your income can come, and that's where the long-lasting money will come from. Where your frontline volume, you're only going to be able to do so much in that frontline volume. So make sure that you're building both ways, okay? You got your frontline going, but you let your group volume take off. So make sure you have big goals for your group volume and maybe a little smaller goal for your frontline volume, as long as you're over 6,000 and more towards the about $10,000 mark. Okay, so that, excuse me, that lets you see what your ranks are. The first three things, the ranks, the clients. It doesn't show you the clients. It shows you your FLV and your GV. Okay, Alan, you might need to come on and I'll show the way that I find out my coaches. Maybe you have a better way to find out, Alan, but correct me if there's anything else that you do different. Okay, if you're going to go to find new coaches, for me, I always go here, sorry, and you go first to engage, and then you go to your team, and then you go to clients. All right, so when you're in here with clients, you can come up here to this little arrow up here, and this will extend it out just a little bit more. But I always like to clean this up just a little bit, bring this in, so I can start seeing more of what I really am looking for, okay? Sometimes you don't need to see everything. So I go to the columns and I start taking things out. I don't need to know their ID number right now. I don't need to know email and phone number. I do want entry date. A lot of times I take that one off, but this is an important one for what I'm looking for. Entry date you want on there. Last order date's good to have on there. We don't need account status. The rest of that we can keep on there because we're already on one page. So to be able to find out last month's clients, how many clients you have, go to entry date. If you just push on entry date, it's gonna put it ascending in an ascending order. If you push on it again, it'll do descending order. So right now you can see that she only has one order in March. Alan, is this the way you do it? Okay, just double checking. But you can go back because you're wanting to see how many clients you had last month. You just have to go right down and count how many did you see in February. Okay, so we count from the bottom here. She started in February 10th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clients in February. Okay, does everybody see how to do that? How to find your clients from last month? And then once it starts, you could even break it up to here. If you wanted to do a filter, you could say is equal to, or is equal, or is after this month. Can everybody mute for me really quick, please? Thank you. Okay, so you can put, so let's say we want February 1st to is equal to or before February 28th. And we could filter that out so it only brings up the ones that she had last month. Okay, so now we know this is what she had for last month. Again, I want you guys to know your business so that you can help yourself. If you don't know your business, you don't know how you can grow. So this is a great way to know what you need to do to be able to grow. This is how you're going to be able to find out how many new clients you got through the month. She doesn't have any coaches on here. Alan, good way for coaches. How do you come on for coaches?
I like to use the tree view to see all the coaches.
For brand new coaches?
For all of the coaches in our organization in each line.
But how do you know if they're a brand new coach though?
So I will look at I will sort by on the let's see, back at the other report where you just were.
I'll give you control.
There's a report called All Coaches in Your Organization, and then you can sort by date there as well.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. She doesn't have any coaches in hers, so it's hard to show that. I'll go back to Engage. I'll show you the way to get to there. If we go back to Engage, it's trying to think about it. Go to your team. If you just click on that one, if she had coaches, if you went right here, it'd say see Optavia coaches. You would do the same thing, but she doesn't have any coaches, so it's not going to bring up any coaches at this time. But that's going to show you how to find if you have new coaches. There is also one other way. If you go into here, you can also see, again, go to your team. If you have a coach that's a coach within the last 30 days, it's being slow. You can look up a CAB report and it'll show anybody that's in those first 30 days. Okay. So I'm going through this kind of fast. Anybody have any questions so far of what we're looking at? So somebody come off real quick. I'm going to stop share. Somebody come off real quick and tell me how you set your goals. Do you set your goals by a rank? Do you set your goals by a volume? How do you set your goals?
I set my goals in different ways, different times. I often take the map I previously had and decide how much work I put into that goal and if I got it or not, and assess what my time ahead looks like and how much work I'm willing to put in to sharing and to, dedicating to my business the next month. I kind of take it as it goes for myself, but I often take my previous map or goals that I've set to determine what my next ones, how far they will jump or how close I got to achieving, or if I achieve them, where do I want to go next? I hope that helps.
That is perfect, because go ahead, Alan, before I say anything, bring it on.
No, I love what Heidi just said, and that's awesome. And our goals, we've changed the way we've done things a couple of times too. And right now, the way I'm setting my goals is by daily consistent action. I'm trying to stay consistent every single day because that's achieving every goal I want to achieve anyway. It's when I work the business grows. When I get lazy and start making excuses, then it stalls out a little bit. So that the goal I'm making now is daily consistency.
Love it, because those are the two things, both of those are the two things that I put on my list also, was that you can only work what you actually have time to work. If you say, I want to hit, you're an executive director and you want to hit presidential in 1 month, good luck. Can it happen? You know what? Maybe. But you are going to put every waking hour into your business, every waking hour, and probably most of your sleeping hours into your business if you were going to go that far. And you would be having to work your fanny off, and I really just don't see it happening. But could it? Maybe. But so realistic goals, and I love making sure that you look backwards and say, okay, I've done this, now I can do this. But maybe Deanne, for instance, she's a newer coach. She doesn't know what she can't do or what she can do. So Deanne, right now, you say you want executive director. Why do you say you want to hit executive director? There we go.
Okay, there, I'm off. 'Cause I was thinking when you said, how do you set your goals? I set mine by rank, just because I know that that's the next rank up. And so that's why talking with Heidi and working with Heidi, she helped me set the goal actually of executive director.
Okay. That was the next thing I was going to say. If you don't know where you can go, reach up to your mentor. Heidi is Deanne's mentor. So she says, okay, Heidi, what can I do? Or Heidi says, you know what, Deanne, I know you can do this because I've already seen you do it. And so she can help you set those goals. Make sure you reach out to your mentor because they can help you reach that goal. So what Alan was saying, though, was he doesn't necessarily have like a big frontline volume goal. He knows, I think he probably has a minimum goal that he wants to hit and a group goal of kind of an overall goal that he wants to hit. But his main goal right now is saying, I want to do what, 3, 3, and 3, Alan? And 3?
Yep.
Okay. So one of the things that I put on my little note sheet and in the little form that I sent out to all the coaches and jocks was, what are your goals for how many health assessments you want to do? Because I find that if you're going to do probably at least a third of the health assessments you do, you're probably going to bring on a client, excuse me. So maybe you're even every half of health assessments you do. So if you want to bring on 10, let's say 5 clients, if you want to bring 5 clients on in a month, you're probably going to figure you're going to be doing between 10 to 15 health assessments. So what does that mean? That means you're going to need to do quite a few health assessments. Okay. Next thing, how many celebration calls do you have for a goal? Well, if you only brought on 5 clients last month, there's probably not a chance you're going to do 10 celebration calls. You're probably going to plan maybe 5 celebration calls because you brought on 5 clients the last month and then maybe whatever you have this coming. So make sure you plan accordingly. Don't say you're going to do 20 celebration calls if you only have 5 clients. Unless you're planning on bringing 5 on every week. Great, let's plan it. but then you also need to make your assessments go up at the same time. Coach explores, okay? A celebration call is not a coach explore. If you do a celebration call, then we talk about doing a coach explore. And then, but you do want to kind of bring in, those all tie in to, so if you want to do 15, if you want to bring on 5 clients, which I say 5 and 1 is a pretty good number. I kind of like that 5 and 1. I'm pretty partial to it. If you want to bring on 5 clients and 1 coach a month, your business is going to grow exponentially fairly quick. Okay. So 5 clients, 1 coach. That means 15 health assessments and several coach explorers. 2 to 3 coach explorers. I imagine you're probably going to be bringing on a coach with every, probably 2 explorers that you do, maybe. Maybe if it's even less if you got good coach classes on. Okay, but make sure you set your goals. If you don't set your goals, you don't know where you're going, and you're going to settle for less. You're going to settle for less than what you really want. Okay, 2 minutes here. I talked a lot again. Come off and what kind of questions do you have in the next couple minutes? I can be quiet, maybe. All right. Did everybody understand how to find your last month's numbers and what you're hoping to do this month? It was pretty quick.
Hiram, question.
Yes, Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
Are you going to have this recorded?
It is recording right now. So
Is it going to be recorded?
it is
I'm going to
recording.
send it to people that weren't here.
Perfect. Perfect. Yep, it's recorded.
Thank you.
All right. Alan and Margie, anything you want to say? Last words?
I think you did a good job of explaining that office and wrapping everything up. No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay. All right, you guys. Please reach out to Alan and Margie or Tiana and I with anything that you guys would like to see more of. If you are feeling inadequate on client acquisition or client support or coach acquisition, coach support, let us know the areas that you need help in, because I don't have a magic ball. I wish I did. The only way that I can find out what people need help us is either 1, I see it because I'm talking to them, or 2, they reach out to me and let me know. This is all because of Heidi. Heidi said, you know what? I would love for our coaches to see exactly how to kind of run the back office a little bit, because it's kind of hard. Now you can take this recording, suction out the 15 minutes that went over it, and go from there. Guys, I loved the 30 minutes. We'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.